In 2019, for my 21st birthday, Mum and I went down to the Harry Potter studio tour just outside of London. This was shortly after Fantastic Beasts 1 came out, so they had all the costumes on display for it. As well as the costumes, there was an entry hall with movie quotes from all the different book series, and this is where you queued, and the queue time was actually really short.
Now, the staff member asked if there was anybody whose birthday it was today, and they called them to the front, and they were the ones who pushed open the door to the Great Hall.
It was decorated for Christmas when we went, because we went in December. They showed us some of the special effects that they'd used in order to make it look like there was floating candles, spells going off, and then how they used to make the food look like it was on fire, like the Christmas puddings.
Very cool indeed. Yes, that is real fire, but the puddings themselves aren't quite real. They're made of concrete, and the leaves are made of metal, so it's totally fine to withstand the flames.
They had decorated the hall to look like the Yule Ball at the bottom end, with lots of ice and icicles and snow. It was very beautiful.
After that was a room of costumes and props used, including the sets of the dormitory, Dumbledore's office and potions classroom. A lot of the props, like the mermaid egg and Griffin's staircase, are really detailed. A lot of the costumes have a lot of really intricate detail on them as well.
None of the food was actually edible in any of the films, apart from the food that was on the plate of the actor or actress at the time. This fountain was gaining a lot of attention from people walking through, probably because of the bright colours. You might recognise it from the Goblet of Fire. It appears when Harry is hearing the mermaid egg singing under the water. And this is the warehouse you can walk round. You can walk in any direction. It looks busier than it was because everybody's just sort of wanted to be in this one place at the same time. And here's a fantastic collection of wands from all the main characters. And here's the Triwizard Cup and also the mermaid egg, which they had lighting up from underneath.
And now we have Dumbledore's office, which is preceded by that giant griffin staircase that has a lot of detail to it, including the feathers. It was 2 floors with stained glass windows at the back and a massive library. There was a sorting hat on the shelf and photographs of all the previous headmasters of Hogwarts. The costumes worn by both actors who played Dumbledore was there, including the pensive mirror which Harry could use to look at past memories through.
Next came the potions room, and you could see the cauldron stirring itself there. And there was 2 outfits. One was Horace Slughorn and the other was Severus Snape. Another bit of magic was the trophies that looked like they were all come to life.
Next was the Weasley's house. In here, the pots and pans had stirred themselves, the knife was cutting away to itself, and there was the costumes of the Weasley twins. In the second film, this is Harry's first look at magic. He walks into an empty house with Ron after being rescued and sees it all chopping away with no other person in sight.
We saw some Death Eater masks. And then I remember the part in the story when that teacher is killed on that table. I can't remember where that is though. And then we've got the Ministry of Magic and some of the costumes they were wearing in there. And then we went to Dolores Umbridge's office. Look at that lovely pink outfit.
This was one of the most exciting bits of the whole studio tour. It was the Forbidden Forest, and when you entered, they had thunder and lightning happening. They had a model of Hagrid there with some of the clothes the actor actually wore, as well as Buckbeak the Hippogriff and Aragog, which moved up and down.
We then went to platform 9 3/4 and boarded the Hogwarts Express. Afterwards, we got to have a look round at some of the costumes used at the end of the Harry Potter series when the characters had aged about 20 years or so. Thirsty work, so we then stopped off for a butterbeer. Very sweet, a bit like cream soda, very unusual.
Oops, it's actually snowing in my face. This bridge had put loads of fake snow around as it was December, but it wasn't actually snowing. Some of the houses that were used in the film were there as well, such as Godric's Hollow that Harry's parents had lived in. You could only look at the outside of that, but you could actually have a look round Privet Drive at Harry's room under the stairs and the letters that had come out the fireplace. Some of the vehicles that we used in the series were there as well, like the night bus, Hagrid's bike and sidecar, and Arthur Weasley's car that had gone into the Whomping Willow in the second film.
say something.
The next bit we came to was Diagon Alley. On here was Gringotts, which wasn't yet open to the public. It later opened in 2020. Ollivander's Wand Shop and Weasley's Wizard Wonders, which featured in the films. There were several other shops on here as well that you notice from all the films, but I don't know the name of, unfortunately. This next bit was amazing. It was a replica of the castle that they used in all the wide shots, or ones where they're zooming in, like when they follow Hedwig in. It's got all the individual towers, the bridges, the Whomping Willows down there somewhere, and it was added to every film they made that they needed a new set piece for.
And a quick measure before the big drive back up to Leeds.